Today's topic, red light traffic cameras. Oh yeah. Here in Houston, we do lots of things backwards. Very silly politicians, huh? And this topic seems to be more of a... It's not as bipartisan as one would think. At least in this city, there's much more Democrat support than there is Republican support for it. I'm sure there's some exceptions in that, but Bill White, our last mayor, who was just a terrible mayor, in my opinion. You know, the city was in the red, still in the red almost, or I'm not sure what the latest budgets are, but we're in the red, and just terrible management of when Hurricane Ike hit us, like a bunch of favoritism with contractors, all kinds of stuff. We don't need to talk about that. Talk about red light traffic cameras, but pretty much were implemented under Mayor White. Now, they were implemented without ever coming to the voters. No one asked any of the voters. No one said, hey, you know, we're thinking about doing this. What do you guys think? Let's put it on the ballot, and you guys can vote, and then this is what we think, blah, blah, blah. So, didn't happen. They were just put up. Kind of like the same thing that happened when they were changing our speed limits. We had, what was it? I don't know if it's 65, 70, something like that, and then it was switched to 55. Everybody complained and said, what the hell are you doing? We're not doing this. And they spent millions of dollars putting up these 55-mile-an-hour speed limit signs, and then had to take them down, spend another, you know, several million putting back the old ones up. But that's how it goes down in Houston usually. Regardless of your politics, you got to admit this is kind of silly stuff. You know, you're supposed to go to the voters. That way, you don't have to end up wasting more of our tax dollars undoing something you do when you didn't even consult the voters in the first place. So, parallel to red light traffic cameras, put up a referendum was put on the ballot. They were voted down. They were deactivated. But where the things kind of go crazy is, and exactly what's happened, and how they got turned, how they got turned back on. Now, the current mayor, she's a Democrat. That's okay. I think she's trying to do what she's doing. So I don't literally live in the city, so I can't vote for the Houston mayor. I live outside the city. Like right here in this area that you see here, or this whole area, you can't vote for the Houston mayor. So anyway, what I think is undue criticism is that she's openly gay, and then everybody, oh well, no, she must suck because she's openly gay, you know, which I totally think is absurd. I don't give a crap what your sexual orientation is in terms of how you handle an economy and manage the executive branch of a city. You know, it's none of our business. I just want to see economic and municipal results, right? Anyway, so she has to tackle that on top of this red light thing where she said, you know, she's going to put him back on, but she's not going to renew the contract. Now, they got turned back on, which a lot of people are misunderstanding, is that the company out of Arizona that installed these cameras sued the city of Houston for breach of contract. But then you have like the papers that are an article, a judge said that the vote was useless. He's not saying the vote was useless. What he's saying is that the contract Mayor White signed is just a shitty contract. He was very gullible, and it was an uneducated agreement to a contract where the city just got bent over a barrel. And what I mean by all that is that on top of Mayor White not consulting the voters, he didn't think that it could get voted down, and he signed a very long contract, because we have 3 more years on this contract. with almost no escape clauses. So what the judge is saying is that you're free to break the contract, City of Houston, but you'll pay a penalty. Just because the voters said they don't want it, the red light traffic cameras does not escape you from having to pay the penalty for a breach of contract. Look, that's what makes sense. You know, you sign a contract, you sign a contract. There's no amount of it wouldn't matter if the entire United States all voted, even when the president came down and said no red light traffic cameras in Houston. None of that matters, because that's not actually part of the context of the contract for a termination clause to terminate the contract without penalty. So we're stuck. Basically, the City of Houston now, with the mayor, is like, well, we're going to appeal this, which they are. They are appealing it. But in the meantime, they still have to pay this contract, right? Well, they can do that out of existing funds, or basically turn them back on and try to make them pay for themselves instead of hurting the budget even more, right? Now, where I drive, we don't have red light traffic cameras out here. I think there's maybe 2 over by 290, which is a freeway, but you have to go towards the city to get affected by those. So it's not like I'm getting affected by it, but I don't necessarily believe in them. I don't believe that they're not designed for safety. I have a few friends, just acquaintances that live in the city, have been rear-ended. Well, not them. They themselves have witnessed rear endings from people braking abruptly. I understand that there is a movement that wants to stop this kind of accident, but let's put it this way: the politicians aren't interested in safety; they're interested in money. That was the first thing, the very first complaint the City of Houston made was when these things got turned off. Oh, well, we're just going to run out of money. We're not going to be able to do much with money. See, and the thing to me is that that's absurd. And we're all apathetic to paying out of our own pockets. And it's just too much to fight the system. Oh, that's just absurd. Why? Well, you know, you don't want to do that. Don't fight. I don't care where my money goes. You know, it doesn't bother me that X percent comes out of my paycheck, and I really have no idea where it goes. I have no idea why taxpayers act like that when it comes to taxes, but when it comes to like consuming a device, like they get obsessed with, let's say, the iPhone versus Android. Oh, look at the features here, and man, the user experience is just so awesome on this phone versus the other one, and look at this, and wow, oh boy, a whole bunch of research and attention goes into that. But when it comes to like where a crap load of your paycheck goes to, no, that's boring. Can't figure out what that does, and don't want to enforce value and bang for your buck on that. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. I will catch you guys on the next ride.